Alright guys, here is Toriko 281 live reading and review slash discussion. Let's get started. I actually started on the first page already, got through half of it. Let's just reread it real quick. Komatsu is definitely drunk. Look how drunk he is. Okay, this panel is definitely something out of like One Piece. It just reminds me so much of Usopp's behavior. The way his eyes are, the way his nose is. This mannerism it's just Usopp written all over. Growl, what the hell are you doing? You're totally fucking wasted, Komatsu. You've drank way too much. Even that ghost all I drink had a little bit of alcohol. Coco's gonna puke poison. Okay, so yeah, first page, decent. I want some serious action, you know, enough of the gag reels, enough of the petty jokes. I want some serious action here. Not necessarily fighting, but some plot. Page 2. Okay, so now they're going to be talking about air. Wow, that is quite the restaurant. Yeah, it's funny because the drinks here and the food here is kind of screwed up in the fact that some of it's moving and alive. But the way, like, you can definitely tell that to them, the locals of Bewitching Food World, it's literally like as normal as regular tea to us. Castle Tengu. Yeah, so this restaurant's probably high class. Gourmet world ingredients only. It's probably higher class than any restaurant we've seen so far. Granted how strong Barachi is. Although, you know, I'm hoping Barachi increased in strength because he was, like, despite his strength, he still got, I think he still wasn't that strong at the end because he didn't necessarily deal with the fights in the Coliseum that well. Like, he was strong, don't get me wrong, but he's not that strong compared to other people in the manga. In the human world, every now and then we open shop at the Bewitching Food Productions exhibition. During that time, you could come up and try the food of Tengu Castle. Based off the taste of that alone, Branchi-san was able to get ranked as a major chef, wasn't he? There's so many humans that would love to come here to. So, that's pretty amazing. But I think they played that wrong, saying that they open up an exhibition. I think they're trying to bring across this message that, oh, look, I just sampled some of my weaker foods and all these humans already ranked me as a top chef in the human world. But the way it's phrased, a Bewitching Food World Productions exhibition, that means you exhibit your best food. So it kind of lowers the quality of that. The taste is alright, I suppose. But just make sure to ignore the chef's character. Zebra, seriously, like, no joke. I'm gonna beat the snot out of you, Zebra, you motherfucker. Plus, I don't want to be talked to about a character by someone like you. Yeah, so this is something I, like, when Barachi was first introduced, I always thought, you know, this guy is a rebel. He's a character, he's really strong and an amazing cook. Something you don't get too often, those ingredients together. With Komatsu, he's a great cook, has food luck, but doesn't have fighting capabilities. Barachi is like the full package minus the food luck, with that sort of edgy character that's very similar to Zebra's but different and unique in its own way. So I always thought that I always had that theory that Barachi would eventually pair up with Zebra to form a combo, but at the end of the day, I like how it turned out. I'm hoping it'll stay this way, with Zebra constantly wanting Komatsu and saying that Barachi's not even close. And I like this sort of friendship. I really do. I think this is the best thing. Although I think when the series ends, I feel like they should end up forming a combo, because Komatsu's never going to give up Toriko or share or do more combos than just Toriko. Anyhow, continue reading. Yeah, I never understood that. I feel like, okay, so Toriko just mentioned how like it's really great that Barachi brought all this gourmet food when that sort of drought came in the human world. My whole thing is that I I my perspective of gourmet world food, which may be wrong according to this, but I thought it was some godly food. Like literally, think about it. Um, there's a normal human food which is like crap, and then like all the capture level foods, 50 capture level, 100 capture level that Toriko went on his adventures. And when he brought those to the humans, they were like elated. They were like, oh my gosh, this food is so good. And then so the gourmet world food, like literally the lowest capture level you find in the gourmet world is like freaking 500. And so I would assume that food would be on a godly level, and Barachi's probably, dealing with capture level of thousands or something like that. So I didn't understand that. Like, the humans were happy, but I didn't think they were that happy with the food. But I guess you can only express your happiness and elation to such a degree with human behavior. Yeah, well, thanks to that mess, for a while all we had to eat in the bewitching food world were takoyaki balls. Yikes, we really put you out there. Well, I mean, it wasn't your fault. Yeah, I'm personally confused what the heck Barachi is. I'm assuming he's not human. And at the same time, I'm also kind of confused as to why he interacts and wants to help out the human world. I guess he made some friends in his time there. Why was he interacting with the human world in the first place when he's not human? Is he human? Oh, God even knows at this point. So yeah, you're talking about the Bishokukai boss, which is at this point inconsequential, because with what happened like 10 chapters ago, now it's been established that Midora isn't really that bad. There are stronger and more pressing evils out there, and Midora has a good heart somewhere deep inside, and Midora is no longer like that all-encompassing evil character he was for the first 100 or so chapters of the Toriko manga. And that's just how it is. Now it's like Midora is also turned and realized that there's other dangers out there. He showed his good side when he didn't end up killing his big brother. A Blue Nitro did it. So I'm more concerned about the Blue Nitro and Neo, the whole Neo faction, and everything else that's going on. And I think, these guys, Toriko and Barachi, are still sort of myopically they're myopically concerned about Midora still, not really aware or informed of the Blue Nitro or what else is going on. They experienced Neo, I believe. They realized that there's a third faction because they were in Midora's castle, but for them to talk about this so much, about Midora rather than the others, I don't know. I'm still on page 5. Maybe he'll change. Wow, what a flawed statement. Toriko said that Midori has the power to destroy the entire world and he's stronger than anyone else out there. Both accounts wrong. Midori, I don't know if the maybe he can beat one blue Nitro, but the fact that that Nitro escaped his net so easily, his tongue net, scares me. And the fact that there's like 50 blue Nitro at the very least scares me even more. Was Midori the strongest out of the three brothers? He's stronger than Jiro right now. But Jiro, I feel... Okay, so if Midori is able to destroy the whole world, Jiro is as well. And it kind of makes sense because he did that whole knocking on the entire world, which doesn't make sense because considering how large it is, like I doubt he knocked every single gourmet world monster. That just doesn't make sense. I doubt he knocked the 7 Titan monsters, the kings of the gourmet world. And it says here, and he hungers more than anyone else out there. So yeah, we got this Midori character. You know, he has his tongue technique. He's hungry, but you know, I think the people from Neo are stronger, and the Blue Nitro are stronger. And as for being able to destroy the whole world, possibly, I don't know. It's a bit of an exaggeration. I very much like how these Toriko gourmet cell characters work. They stuff their face with delicious food. Probably a lot of it's unhealthy, but it just makes them more jacked and it makes them stronger. Kind of like DBZ, the Saiyans. Because I am somewhat like that myself, although the food does make me fatter and unhealthy. But I've always been known to love food tremendously, all varieties of food, stuff my face often, and have a decent metabolism. The only difference is I don't get jacked when I eat it. And they stuff their faces and they want more. It's very much like me. Probably one of the reasons why I like this manga. So, oh yes, the Daruma Sage. I'm excited to see who this is. Ooh, he's about to die. They better talk to him quick. Ooh, famous doctor. I think I know who that is. Little green froggish mythological beasts with bald heads on top. These Japanese have the weirdest things. I heard the Daruma Sage is ugly. Ooh, so that's what he looks like. Oh wait, let me go back a page. I want to see what the heck's going on here. I like the scenery. I like to actually absorb in every page, admire the scenery, how it's drawn. Those pages where like the author literally draws in like every hut from a large macroscopic view, that takes so much time, and I like to enjoy, especially when you only get one chapter per week or per 2 weeks. Holy moly! Is that... Yeah, that's Melk. I wasn't expecting Melk to be here. I thought it'd be someone else. I thought it'd be Tepai-san's master. Tepai. I believe his name's Tepai. Let me just check that up. Tepai. Yes, Tepai's master. The Sasaya, that's Tepai's master. I thought he would be the one healing Daruma-sama. But it's not. It seems to be Melk. Okay, so let me just absorb in this guy. He's huge. I thought he'd be ugly, but he just looks like a giant. Interesting. He's out of the bath. Oh, you know what this reminds me of? One Piece yet again. The tiny little, the normal sized nurse who's got all this stuff hooked up to him, And him being so giant, it reminds me of Whitebeard for sure. Page 9. So this is one of those scenes where he has to get out critical information before he dies, but they waste too much time and he doesn't finish what he's saying. He keeps dying, and then Buranchi keeps screaming and waking him. Okay, so this guy's either playing a joke, and he's that humorous type, or he's literally dying. Oh, he keeps dying and waking up. Brocken Jr. Okay, so Daruma-sama is just a fucking troll. He peeped into a female's bathroom and got overexcited from seeing a female. God, like, I guess they don't have porn there, so they don't see naked females often. Though, being such a boss, I'm kind of surprised he has trouble with females. Okay, so it could have been two ways. He could have been a serious guy and he was dying, but they chose to make him like Jiraiya-sama in Naruto, this pervert guy. The gourmet surgeon Atashino Sensei, that's said to be able to cure any wound or illness with only a single kitchen knife. And on top of that, one of the strongest Bishokuya in the entire human world. Okay, so she's human. So this is some genius medical knife. I feel like this is one of those moments where they just meet her and they're like, hi. And then, like 50 chapters later, they're severely injured with some sort of wound that is life-threatening and almost uncurable, or pretty much incurable. And what happens is now they can't reach her because she's very hard to find or talk to. And then when they find her, like, you literally have to pay like all this money to get the cure, and it's just very tough. Kind of like the Sasaya, Teppai's master, when Toriko lost his arm, but maybe even rarer and harder. And then they're like, oh, we should have talked to her when we had the chance. It's one of those moments. So it's interesting that this healer's Bishokuya instead of a Sasaya. That's interesting. Oh, so this was one of the members who went with Ichirayu to fight the Midoriya's faction for the full course. So I'm surprised she survived. I thought like they either all died or what. Okay, so how did she survive? So you're still alive. I was saved, and it wasn't just me. It's Melk-sama. Holy fuck, Melk lost his arm. He still lost his arm. What's with his feet? He has hairy feet, or is that just his pants? Holy freak. Melk I always wondered about all the scars Melk has on him. Like, are those from different fights or just one big fight? It could have been either one. And he lost his freaking arm. And I guess the Sasai can't, heal it or grow it back this time. Oh, Komatsu never met Melk the first. I forgot about that. He still has that problem with his voice. Oh, sweet. I never thought about that pairing, Zebra and Melk Sama. It's so insightful that the author remembered that. This could have been one of those moments where the author was like, he could have easily forgotten that. He could have forgotten that Zebra could hear anything because of his powers of hearing. Like, it makes sense because Zebra heard Toriko and Komatsu talking thousands of miles away when they first went to meet Zebra-sama. So he could definitely hear what Melk is saying. It's so insightful that the author remembered that. The adventure finally approaches its crux. Cool. So Melk-sama's like, he knows what they're hearing. He's like, let's get down to it. Stop wasting time. I'm going to tell you how to capture air, and I'll tell you what happened a year and a half ago. Most likely what happened a year and a half ago, my predictions, some of them survived, some of them were gravely injured, some of them died, and Midora probably won every single fight, save for maybe one event. And so a lot of these full course menus have already been revealed. I mean, they spent years preparing for it to be revealed, for its presence to come out once again. And so it's happened, and what has occurred now is Midora probably got off with a lot of the ingredients. Ichirayu's group probably somehow managed to keep like one or two of them, and then there's probably one or two ingredients that have yet to appear, and then air has not yet appeared, and therefore Toriko's clan is going after them. My whole thing though is that like it was established when they were entering the gourmet world like 2 chapters ago that they were going to each continent to more or less procure every single Akatia full course menu item. And so how are they going to reconcile this? Maybe like the whole point of them fighting was to obtain these full course menu items, and yet it seems like Toriko's whole adventure with his group of comrades seems to be on going to each continent to obtain each Akatia full course menu. Although it is true that Akatia's full course menu items are not the best items in the gourmet world. That's a subjective opinion. A lot of people claim they are, but these are all humans. There's probably even better items. I personally don't think Akatia was some god or some amazing person who conquered every single gourmet world monster. There's probably tons of gourmet world monsters that have ingredients that are even better than Akatia. And you can probably imagine like the level of severity to obtain and then properly cook these ingredients. That's the uniqueness of Toriko. Like each ingredient is like, each animal is almost born to be an ingredient. And there's probably going to be some like super specially prepared ingredients where you have to like do this for an hour, do this for an hour, and do all this sort of stuff in crazy specific ways to get the perfect ingredients. And probably only Komatsu with his food luck will be able to figure that out. But yeah, it's very clear that Melk has lost his arm, which is kind of sad, but you know, it's a warrior wound. It makes it look cool. I don't think he can grow it back like Toriko did. I think it was cool what occurred. I very much like how this author likes to bend things and then use the power of manga to bring things back. So I'm talking about how Toriko lost his arm, and at that moment we were thinking, holy crap, what's going to happen? Is he going to just be without arm for the rest of the series? What the heck's going on? And then he gets it back. I was going to mention a Yu Yu Hakusho reference, but I don't want to spoil anything or mention anything, so I won't. And that's all I want to say about this, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen in the future. And yeah, I'm pretty sure if anyone's nerdy enough, they could research and figure out probably easily on the Toriko Wikia what Akatia 4-course ingredient menu items have already been revealed, because they were mentioned during the fight of IGO versus Bishokukai during the Colosseum arc. Like literally, the setting was narrated. It was like these members will be fighting these members over this Akatia full course menu item at this location, and they went through every single setting. So anyone who's like nerdy enough could literally, if you would please research it on Wikia or go back to that page in the manga, find it and go ahead and comment below and tell me which items have already been revealed and fought over during that event, so we'll know which items Toriko can still procure with his group of comrades. I feel like there's definitely air, but what else is there available? I feel like other than air, I know for sure there's that one ingredient that allows you to revive someone who's dead. So I'm curious to see how they will. I think that one is one that wasn't revealed during that fight. I feel like that one is probably going to be some magical one, and they're probably going to choose to revive someone amazing. Probably either the real Akatia's real wife, not this fake imposter who's pretending to be her. I think she would be a good candidate, or maybe even Akatia himself if he's potentially dead. Other than that, I can't really think of anyone. Maybe Ichirayu, I don't know. I don't know if it would be worth it to revive Ichirayu. Anyhow, that's all I really wanted to say, and if you like this video, please share it with a friend and get them to subscribe. The best thing you could do to help out is subscribe, get people to subscribe and get more viewers onto my channel and my videos. That's the best thing you could do to help out. Share it with friends you think would be influenced and like this sort of thing. And getting more views in my videos is probably the biggest motivation for me doing these videos. And if nothing else, I guess the biggest thing you could do would be to donate money to me via some sort of payment system. But I don't know if anyone out there